this right here, this is the most comfortable shoe of 2020, if there is such a thing. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look at these bad boys right here. They're just tied up all over each other. And this my friends is the most comfortable shoe of the year so far. So these guys right here, again, PEAK TaiChi 2.0 uses their PEAK TaiChi cushioning system. It did not come with a little ball this time. It technically wasn't even a ball last time.
It was just a mess.
It was this red stuff, okay? And it looked like, almost like slime, but it was elastic and rubber at the same time. So it was supposed to represent what the TaiChi cushioning does, and it came in this little plastic orb, and my son thought that it was a bouncing ball and smashed it on the ground, and I was like, what the f? But these guys right here are the second version of the first version, which we actually have, and it's these guys right here. These I absolutely love. I had two of these and I gave one to my brother. I love one so much, I was like, bro, you got to try these. He really likes them too. I actually liked running in these, and then they made a second version of this, which we also have. So we have these guys right here. I never ended up messing with these. I was supposed to make a video, didn't get around to it. Sometimes it happens, we get busy. But this was the kind of like the beefcake version of this guy. Beefcake, beefcake. So these guys right here are supposed to be the beefier version of these. They got a little bit more support. They got different kind of knit. It's supposed to be a little bit more structured of a knit, like at the midfoot, and then more airy at the forefoot. And then they had a different rubber compound and traction pattern and all that kind of good stuff. There was also some additional, what do we call these things? It's sort of like pronation, but just a little bumper. I don't know what they're called in running shoes. Normally we'd call that an outrigger.
I don't know the official term, but it's definitely like a harder rubber so that it doesn't let you collapse.
Almost like Nike's old Tuned Air, where they had the bags, but one was a little softer, one was a little firmer. That way you'd, it basically forced you to run properly, even though there is no such thing, essentially. It's just run what makes you comfortable, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So these guys were great right here. And again, this is their newest version. These things, man, I really like those as far as comfort goes, but holy f, like these just like, you can just see it right there. They just like doubled everything, like they upped the ante real hard. And so we have what looks like major stack height right here. It looks like we got a massive heel to toe drop. It doesn't feel like that in the shoe. It just looks that way. I think it's also the colorway. Now these feel like a beefier version of the beefcake version. We have a lot of rubber right here. It's got all kinds of flex screws, all kinds of little lugs. So this stuff looks great for regular pavement as well as trails. And what I really like is that the original versions, which you can kind of see that little black bar in there, and it's an X. That was the support system or the torsional system in the two previous versions. So it allowed all that flexibility, but not over twisting. These guys have like a crazier one where it's really hard to see, but basically right here, I'm going to be able to show it to you in a little bit, but just wait for that. But right here, we got the moderator plate, right? So it runs from heel to toe, and that's right there. And then it also splinters off in the heel and forefoot. So it wraps this way, and then there's a bar on each side as well. It reminds me a little bit of Adidas's torsional system, and that's not the only little Adidas callback. Oops, sorry, I lost my baggie. My dime sack. But there's another little callback to Adidas right there in the heel, that coral traction pattern, which is like the original Crazy Explosive, just saying. Now these guys came laced just like this, and I thought that this little guy right there was like, I was like, man, what is that? Like, is this like an adjusting lace system? I started spinning it and it didn't do anything. What is that?
I tried to eject it. I was like, there has to be something that happens here.
I had no idea what they were for, and then we were on a WearTesters Discord community live chat, okay, because we do one of those a month. And so we were all kicking it together in our community, as community folks do. And one of our members, Licks with the kicks, right? She's actually from China. So I was saying like, I don't know what the these are for, not the shoe, just those. And I was just like, man, I don't know. And then she told me what they were for, and I was like, man. And then I started checking them out, and the dime bag that I dropped, that actually had the laces in it. So they come two ways. One way is just like this with the lacing, just like that traditional. But some people, you are one of them, don't like tying their shoes. That's what this guy's for. It's not for your hair, it's not to pull it back or nothing. Okay. You take off your laces and you put the bungee in those, and you actually need this little flag right there to feed it through. That was fun to find out. God, that took me forever. I felt like a moron. It's like, why isn't it? Because there's a plastic guard. And I was like, it won't go through. This is a dumb design. And then I realized that it was this. I was the dumb one. But anyway, so now you can remove these. I didn't, obviously, because I was trying to do everything quickly, but now I can just slide it right in.
You know you can do that once you've double knotted your laces as well.
Look, man, they've added a feature and it's cool. Also known as a gimmick. It's to sell the shoe. Now the upper on these guys is a full stretch knit upper, and it feels very similar to the Beefcake version of the original. So these feel, because these have a stretch knit, but it's not like super stretchy, you know what I mean? Especially at the collar right there. These feel more like a prime knit if I'm gonna compare it to any type of knit. So the knit on these guys a little bit more similar to these. You got the perforations, all that stuff, the stretchy collars, all those kind of good things are on here. Also, there is a little bit of sculpting. I was really trying to get it in the B-roll and I don't think I succeeded, but there is a heel notch right there. And just like your favorite infomercials, wait, there's more. There's a 2.0 version. And they came out like at the same time. Normally you wait till like you refresh the line a little bit. No, they were like, man, f it. These are ugly.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. I really like what they did with the burst on the knit where it looks like
the gradient.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm so fast. Right? But yeah, these just look way better. These are still ugly, but like they look better than these. And that's, again, it's not saying much. I'm just saying they look better. I'd rather wear this one than this one. Now, what makes these the Pro?
Laces?
Yes, which I thought was weird. Totally see what this is a gimmick, but they've also added a lot more structure to the build itself. So you got the fuse overlays and things like that. The knit is a little bit more similar to a combination of these two where it's structured and airy. So you got like tight knit, you got open knit. The side panels right here that you see are full on just straight window mesh, like ventilation all day. Same thing with the tongue. So I think that most people, if you're gonna choose to run in one of these, this might be the one. This is probably meant for like more of the casual slip-on thing, you know what I mean? Like you just wanna be like, hey, I'm just gonna go run to the store. But that's what I was talking about on the bottom right there. You can totally see the bar straight up and down plus up the sides. And I think it's pretty dope. So this is gonna add a little bit of rigidity to this, but when you're done, it's supposed to like spring right back into place. So those spring plates or those spring bars, torsional plates, all that kind of stuff, that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're intended for. So when you see something like that in something like an Adidas Crazy Explosive or like the spring plate, the carbon fiber spring plate in the Air Jordan 11, that's what they're intended for. They're intended for rigidity, but they're also intended to spring back into place. So it makes you feel like you're, you know what I mean? It actually says that right there. It says PEAK TaiChi Running 2.0 Pro Propulsion System. Whoa! Now these guys also, in addition to having the different knit and all that stuff and actual tongue instead of a one-piece upper, they scoop away from the heel a lot better. I actually really like the way that the rear section of the shoe is built. Also has the pillows in there and all that stuff. I just think that this one's gonna be a better ride long-term. I have not run in these yet, so will I? I don't know, not sure. Really don't like running. I don't know if it's because I could tolerate running. I think my knees just don't like running. Now, as far as fit is concerned, I would go true to size. You could also go down half a size and you should be good. They are a little bit roomy as far as volume goes. Whether you're running or casually just wearing these things, like you should like that fit overall. It's kind of got a slipper vibe to it. Something that I personally have noticed when I run is that while in basketball, I like a super snug, like, you know, like locked in fit. For running, it's almost the exact opposite. It's super weird to me. It was one of those like, oh shit, like I couldn't believe it. Like I was like, I like something completely different when I'm doing this versus when I'm doing that. So yeah, when you're running, you are not only just pounding the pavement, so your feet are taking a beating, but they're also swelling at the same time. They're releasing a lot of heat, a lot of moisture, and you need your toes to splay a little bit. That's why you don't want your shoes to just crush you. And it's mad uncomfortable, especially once that foot swell kicks in. I feel like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Why?
Because it's like, here, touch this. Oh, here, look, there's a thing here. I could play with this. Look, there's 2.0. Look, here's the first versions. Look, touch, feel, wear, bounce, run, play.
Anyways, you had your virtual meet and greet with everybody. Usually I don't go to them.
Are you talking about our Discord sessions?
Yeah, the Discord sessions.
It's not a meet and greet. I'm kicking it.
Whatever.
A meet and greet is like, I don't know this person. I'm going to go meet them and he's going to greet me back.
Well, originally the first one was like that. Now there's definitely people in the chat where
we just know them.
So
and we joke around. We got inside jokes, dirty jokes, lots of them.
When he had to explain to me afterwards
why do you sigh like you're not the reason why there's that many that's what she says? That's all you.
It's the fact that they went and made my face into an emoji.
Oh man, and it looked just like this. It's hella funny, dude. Like I thought it was awesome. Anyways, about the shoes though.
Licks broke down the whole ponytail thing, and so I hadn't actually seen it in action until today while I was standing back there, and I was like, did he really go and find one of my ponytails?
Oh, you thought that was, no. That came in the dime bag.
I know, I understand that. But I will say, so last year, this was also christened the most comfortable shoe of 2019. Yes, this one was.
Yeah.
We have had so many people come back and comment because they've actually gone and purchased, and they're like, dude.
Yo, it's legit, I'm not playing. Like if I say something, sometimes it's hyperbole. What did I say recently? Oh, like nobody was into the Fila Grant Hill until Tupac wore them. That's clearly hyperbole. There's no way to know that. I don't know every single soul on this planet.
And you don't live in every state, so you don't know.
Correct. So when you say something like that, it's just like dramatic effect. Most people understand that, some people don't. But this is legitimately like bouncy stuff. It's just mad bouncy. If you liked these or those, this, I'm just saying, if you were interested in either of these, good luck, because I don't know where they're at. I'll try to find something, but I don't know what the official PEAK retail site actually is.
How did we get these?
PEAK actually sent these over, so big thank you to PEAK. Really like these so much that they were like, here man, we want you to try the 2.0 version. By the way, the feeling of the TaiChi, it feels like it's got a little bit more rubber to it, I guess, instead of some more fluff. So it's got a little bit of like extra firmness, so that when you sink into it, it just really like, you just feel like you're just bouncing, like flubber. It's weird. So that pretty much takes care of it for the PEAK TaiChi 2.0 and 2.0 Pro. Again, these I feel are just the most comfortable shoes of 2020, at least so far. I'd be surprised if anything beat these, because I don't think anything beat the comfort of these. Let us know what you think about each of these down below in the comment section as well. If you tried out the first version, let us know what you thought about them. Did you feel that it was like one of the most comfortable things you've ever worn? Or you're like, man, I've had better. I would be surprised. If you've had better, let me know what it was, because I'd like to know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.